Yo, 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 what is up,
Hello,
everybody?
hello.
Welcome to a series we are doing where we're going to break down each character or each class in Daggerheart. If you don't know who we are, I'm J-Mart.
And I'm Sassy Cat.
We are a couple content creator where we've been playing mostly TTRPGs, where I've been running a custom D&D campaign. But starting
the Hollow Cycle. Super
very
awesome.
soon, we'll be starting the Skyroot Saga, which will be my first Daggerheart custom
campaign and our first time trying Daggerheart, which we're really excited about. So it's going to be a high fantasy campaign, which we can really use the colorful characters and classes and see what we can create and learn together.
So today, I think we're going to go over the new class, which is the Warlock.
Warlock sounds really fun. So I was like, well, let's go over Warlock.
Their domains are Dread, which is part of the Void, and Grace, which is a domain of charisma through rapturous storytelling, charming spells, or a shroud of lies. Those who channel this power define the reality of their adversaries, bending perception to their will. Click for more. Yeah, there we go. Grace offers Welder's raw magnetism and mastery over language. So Dread must be new.
Yeah, it says it's testing.
Okay.
Here.
Like we don't have
testing.
Nearly as good of a
description of Dread. The new domain being played tested as part of the Void.
Okay.
Ooh, the Void. So it looks like you have a starting evasion of 10. So that's kind of like when
if you get hit.
If you get hit, it's in Daggerheart's tie or higher, right?
Yeah, same.
So if the enemy hits me for 10, he hits me because it matches my evasion. Okay. Not very many starting hit points though. 6.
Hey, is that right? I am confused. If it's 10, yeah, that should meet or exceed, I think. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in chat. Yeah, so 6 starting hit points. Class item, a carving that symbolizes your patron or a ring that can't be removed. Interesting.
The Warlock's Hope feature. Patron's Boon. So you spend 3 hope to call out to your patron for help, gaining 1d4 favor. And what exactly is favor?
Okay, let me adjust this for you guys real quick. Not a good angle for you.
Let's see. Favor, it says, is a resource used by the Warlock class. You start with 2 favor. During a rest, take one of your downtime actions to commune with your patron. When you do, gain favor equal to your presence plus 1d4. If you choose to forego this offering, a GM instead gains a fear.
So you have to do it, or the GM gains a fear. If you choose to do other downtime activities instead.
Okay, that's interesting.
That kind of actually lowers their amount of downtime activities they get because they have to choose that one. Warlock Patron, you have committed yourself to a patron, god, demon, fae, or other supernatural entity. In exchange for power, write their name in your space on your sheet. Then choose their sphere of influence at GM's discretion, like nature and mischief, love and war, knowledge and shadow, etc. Record them in a space provided and set their value to +2. Anytime you increase your tier, these spheres of influence also gain +1 bonus. Before making an action roll that relates to one of your patron's sphere of influences, you can spend favor to call on them and add its value to the roll.
That's before making an action roll. So you could say you get if you have favor, is that the whole favor thing?
Yeah. So I'm guessing like you just pick 2 domains, which would be their sphere of influence.
Depending on what god or demon fae that you choose to be your patron? I'm a little confused about that.
Yeah, I'm a little confused too. Maybe we'll get more on it. Is there even a domain for love? So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little confused. Go with favor.
That's the one I was talking about. You start with 2,
Oh,
and
okay.
then during a rest,
Right.
you have to commune with your patron, or if you choose not to. So you only start at 2 favors, but it sounds like you can get more than 2, because if you end up communing with your patron, you gain favor equal to your presence plus a 1d4. So you can have more than 2. You just start with 2.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
And it looks like they have 2 subclasses, either Pact of the Endless or Pact of the Wrathful subclass. Background questions. If you answer any of the following background questions, you can also create your own questions. So, like, what desperate situation led you to pledging your life for the patron? What patron has given you one task you must accomplish above all
Oh, that's
else?
cool.
What is it and why does it worry you? You and your patron are similar in a very specific way. What characteristics do you share and how do you feel about it?
Then you can have some connections. So you ask your fellow players one of the following questions for their characters to answer, or create your own questions. I confide in you about what my patron says and does. Why? You once saw me tied to my patron and it's changed how you interact with me. What did you see and how has it affected you? I once did something very foolish and you have never let me live it down. What was it? Okay, so you're trying to build connection and what they've seen you do patron.
Right.
But it says you can create your own questions.
Yeah. This is just kind of like examples.
Examples,
Like the big thing with Daggerheart is they want you to get a some rapport going with other characters. So they're giving you questions you can ask if you can't think of any. And if you just answer a few questions, you'll be surprised on how that could snowball and building something really big with them.
Yeah.
The spellcasting trait is presence, which is a high presence means you have strong force and personality. So presence is like your charm, perform, deceive. Their favor goes by what though again? It wasn't presence. Oh, it was presence. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
okay,
presence
so
plus
you definitely
1d4.
want to put your +2 in presence in.
Yeah, of when you're building the character. Sounds like it's.
So it looks like their foundation, which is what all warlocks get. You can mark a stress to perform or to transform into a terrifying visage that lasts until you take severe damage or the scene ends. While transformed, you can spend favor in place of an armor slot.
Oh, that's kind of big.
You have advantage on rolls to intimidate a target. So are they like a tank?
It looks like you can make like a warlock tank. You have that much favor in place of an armor slot?
That's crazy. So deadly devotion. After you make a successful attack, you spend a favor to give your evasion a +1 bonus until the next time an attack succeeds against you. Otherwise, the bonus lasts until your next
Sounds very
rest.
tanky so far, the
Wow,
warlock.
yeah. This is kind of interesting. It's not what I was expecting.
You have a specialization feature. You have your draining invocation. When an adversary targets you or an ally within very close range with an attack, you can spend a favor to make them roll a d12 instead of a d20 for the attack. Additionally, the adversary must mark a stress and you can clear a stress. So does the adversaries always roll a d20 when they're attacking you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the DM still uses the straight up
1d20.
D20.
And then
So
use
man,
fear.
you can roll D12 instead. So if you have like their evasion's 10, so that means like they have a very low chance of hitting you.
They sound like a tank.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mastery features around.
Oh, so this is just for the Pack of the Endless. So this is okay. This isn't what every warlock gets. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
So this is what this pack
Pact
gets.
of the Wrathful.
So this pack might be more of a tank one. Okay.
This is Pact of the Wrathful we're reading.
No, this is Pack of the Endless.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. So mastery feature.
So it sounds like the Pack of the Endless is a tank.
Yeah, it sounds like very tanky. Once per long rest, you can spend favor instead of marking any number of hit points. Wow. The target of your draining invocation also becomes temporarily drained. While drained, all the attack rolls use D12 instead of D20.
Sounds like you can make a really interesting tank spellcast type class with that Pack of the Endless. It actually sounds pretty cool to me.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Pact of the Wrathful. Build presence for your spellcast trait. But your foundation features, you have your Patron's Wrath. You can spend any number of favor to imbue your primary weapon with your Patron's power. When you do, you can choose to add an additional D6 to all damage rolls you make with it per favor spent until your next rest. Anytime you choose to deal this additional damage, mark a stress.
Okay,
so you're saying I can add like 2 D6s if I mark 2 stresses, or can you only do it 1 dice to it?
Okay, so with your Patron's power, when you do, you can choose to add an additional D6 to all damage rolls you make with it per favor spent until next rest.
So each favor is a D6?
Choose to deal this additional damage, mark a stress. Okay, so yeah, you have to do it each time anytime you choose to do damage with it. So you don't have to use it every time.
Okay.
But like, let's say, I'm guessing like at any point, I want to spend 3 favor to imbue my weapon with my Patron's power. That means any time that I do damage with it, I can choose to get an extra 3d6.
3d6?
Because if I use 3 favor.
But then you would have to mark 3 stress.
It doesn't say you have to mark a stress for each favor.
No,
it just says each time you choose. So you'd probably want to use more favor than that. You probably wouldn't want to just waste 1 favor with it. But anytime you choose to use that damage, you'd have to mark a stress.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you wouldn't want to do it every time, but if you wanted that,
because you only get so much favor too. You only start with 2, and then you can build up your favor. But it seems like
and then that lasts all the way until your next rest.
Yeah,
it's not just like 1 time. That's crazy. Herald of Death is a specialty feature. On a failed attack roll, you can spend a favor to reroll the attack. If it fails again, you must mark a stress and take the new result.
You diminish my foes. When you succeed with hope on an action roll against a target, instead of taking a hope, you can choose to have your target mark a stress.
Okay. So you're going to try to get them to get where they're rolling with disadvantage. Or you get advantage out of them.
Vulnerable, right? Get them vulnerable?
Try to get vulnerable.
Because if you hit your max stress, you become vulnerable, right?
Correct. Want to do Mastery as well?
Mastery feature. You have the Fearsome Attack. When you make a successful attack roll with fear, you can spend a favor to reroll any number of your damage dice. You can continue spending favor to reroll these dice as many times as you'd like. And you have Divine Ire. Once per rest, when you take damage, you can spend favor for each target within close range. For each you spend a favor for, they must mark a hit point.
Wow.
So this sounds like an attacking warlock.
Yeah, this is definitely the DPS version.
DPS version. So if you hit me, I can then spend a favor that if you were close range to me, and I can mark you a hit point. It's almost like a retaliation.
Yeah. That's pretty dang cool. So let's go ahead and make a class. Which one are we going to go with? I think we should go with the tank one.
Yeah, let's see how the tank one turns out.
Yeah.
So when you choose the class, you just choose Warlock, right?
Yeah, choose that, and then...
how do you choose the subclass?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Oh, if you hit on the top? Oh, I hit something that was right here. It put me into this once I hit class for Warlock.
Okay. It's letting you choose one? Or is it just showing you?
It says choose a subclass right here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, it's just I just don't know how to choose one.
Right here, you hit the subclass on your left. Go left. Choose subclass.
Oh, way down here.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to go in order.
Yeah, but
Gotcha.
you were saying subclass.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah,
showing
that's
you
my
where it
fault.
was. We can go from the beginning though.
Yeah, let's go from the beginning.
So if you hit Warlock Patron.
Show, or so you just this is where you just write your patron's
Yeah.
name. So we'll go Titus, who's our cat. Sphere of influence, so like nature, love, and knowledge. See, like this is the part I still don't quite understand.
The sphere influences.
Yeah, like what are the different spheres of influences?
Maybe it's in the book.
Maybe. But then there should be like a drop down for it, right? So for right now, we're just gonna put love, because Titus is awesome, and mischief, because he's like that.
Oops.
All right, so we're gonna select your traits. These values reflect trained or trained abilities to each of the 6 cores. So we definitely want presence. What is it suggested? So the suggested are +2 to presence, +1 to instinct, 0 to finesse, 0 to knowledge, -1 strength, +1 agility. I mean, that looks right to me. That's probably what I did.
For
The
oh yeah.
Set your traits.
Suggested for the suggested traits.
Yeah,
you definitely want presence to be a +2 if that's how your
honest.
favor is connected with, and a lot of your abilities seem to be done with favor.
Yeah. And then instinct is perceive, sense, and navigation. So yeah, I would say that looks right to me. That's pretty good. Choose a starting weapon. Suggested a scepter. What does a scepter do? A scepter is so scepter's range. Far, you do d6 magic damage, and your burden is 2-handed. This weapon can also be used with the statistics as a presence melee d8. Okay, so you definitely want a scepter then, because you could even use as a presence weapon close range. Yeah, scepter sounds great.
Could you imagine though being a warlock with some arcane gauntlets if you're a tank warlock?
See, that would be pretty cool. What they what's
the arcane frame wheelchair?
I don't know what all the wheelchair stuff is. So it's based off strength though, so you probably wouldn't want it.
We're -1. It would be cool.
I mean, you could technically build where you do +1 to strength instead of instinct. But I don't know if that would be a good idea, but you could.
Well, let's just go with the scepter you said.
Yeah, scepter sounds great. Choose your starting armor.
You have 2 choose starting weapons too.
Oh, you're right. There is a second.
Oh, what's the tower shield?
I don't think we'd want a shield because this is 2-handed weapon.
Oh, scepter is?
Yeah. But you would want another. Is there anything else that scales off presence? Trait spellcast. That's for the wheelchair. I still don't understand what that is. I don't know if it's like literally a wheelchair.
Right? Where you can like wheel yourself and block it with the wheelchair.
A cutlass is 1d8 physical damage, and its trait is presence. That could be fun. Sure.
Yeah.
What's a dual stack? That's instinct. We do have +1 to instinct. All right. Yeah, we'll do cutlass. We'll do another video and probably go over all the starting armors and and weapons. So this just says light armor. I still don't understand. So choose your armor. You use armor to reduce severity of attacks. At character creation, you can choose one set of armor and equip it. You can find armor suggestions at the top of the guide, but if you would like to choose your own, you can find all the starting tier 1 armors on the armor table. Damage thresholds.
So armor sport, I guessing, gives you that +4 armor, +3 armor.
I just would like to know.
Why would everybody just choose full plate armor? Like,
Correct. That's what I would like to know.
What's the negative? That's what it's like.
That's exactly what I want to know. Like, why would I choose?
So the feature here, it's very heavy. -2 to evasion, -1 to agility for full plate armor. So
we don't really care about those two per se.
I don't know what these base thresholds mean. Is that of how hard you're hit, 6 and 13?
Right.
If you're getting hit severe.
So you're probably more likely to get hit harder in full plate because you get that -2, but you also, I don't know. Still a little confused on this. Like, the negatives. Like, if I was going to do, but actually, man, if I was going to do the tanky one, wouldn't I almost want to do the highest evasion armor?
The Gambison armor?
Yeah, because I'd be using
That's what I was looking at. You're flexible, +1 to evasion.
Right, because
Your thresholds are 5 and 11. So if anything hits you past a 5, you're in major, I think. Anything 11.
But we're using our favor to
negate. Hey, let's put Gambison armor on. Why not? Let's do it.
Leather's probably just the best, but yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Why shouldn't I? Take your starting inventory. Let's do a health potion. And a ring I can't remove. I like that. Alright, now the domain cards.
You did a health potion?
Yeah. And a ring I can't remove. Sounds fun. So the domain cards, we have some options if you want to read the first one, the Blighted Strike.
So Blighting Strike. You make a spellcast roll against a target within far range. On a success, the target takes d6 magic damage using your proficiency, and the next time the target deals damage to an ally, it is reduced by 1d6.
Ooh.
If you succeed with fear, the target instead takes d10 magic damage using your proficiency.
Wait, so you almost want to succeed with fear?
But I don't think you get the... Make a spell against the target within far range. On a success, the target takes d6 magic damage using your proficiency, and the next time the target deals damage to an ally is reduced by 1d6. If you succeed with fear, the target instead takes a d10 magic. Oh, they take more damage, but it goes to.
But you get.
It goes back to the DM. Yeah.
Interesting.
I kind of like being able, if I'm playing a tanky type warlock, of being able to give more evasion to an ally of mine. It doesn't say distance either. I just choose an ally. It doesn't say what range.
It just says within far range. Well, no, that's not. You're not giving that to the ally. The next time that the target would deal damage to an ally.
Oh, it's reduced to 1d6. So it's still like a protection barrier.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
So then we have Deaf Deceiver. Spend a hope to gain advantage on a roll to deceive or trick someone into believing a lie you tell them.
Nice. Enrapture. Make a spellcast roll against a target within close range. On a success, they become temporarily enraptured. While enraptured, a target's attention is fixed on you, narrowing their field of view and drowning out any sound but your voice. Once per rest on a success, you can mark a stress to force the enraptured target to mark a stress as well.
Oh, so that's, again, like another taunt.
Yeah.
So we'd probably want that. Not going to select it yet, but that sounds about what we'd want with this build. Inspirational words. Your speech is imbued with power. After a long rest, place a number of tokens on this card equal to your presence. So ours is +2, so we'd have 2. When you speak with an ally, you can spend a token from this card to give them one benefit with
Ooh.
the following. Your ally clears a stress, your ally clears a hit point, or your ally gains a hope. When you take a long rest, clear all unspent tokens. Man, that's cool.
Wow, that's really cool too. You can literally clear a hit point. All right. Unbrailed Veil. So make a spellcast roll 10. On a success, spend any number of hope. Oops, sorry. Okay. Spend a number of hope and place an equal number of tokens on this card to encase yourself in shadowy energy. After an attack roll is made against you, you may spend any number of tokens to gain a +1 bonus to your evasion per token against that attack.
So you need to do a spellcast roll.
Definitely good for a
A
tank.
10. On a success, spend any number of hope and place an equal number of tokens on this card.
So say you've had 6 hope, you could spend all 6 of your hope to have 6 tokens.
Yeah, I mean that's spending a lot, but that's pretty.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
But then you can spend
Wait.
any number of those tokens to get a +1 bonus to your evasion per token against that attack.
But you have to spend it, right? Yeah, you can spend any number of those tokens to get +1. That's not bad.
It's basically you're having extra evasion stored up for something that attacks you.
Right. And then Voice of the Dread. You can magically speak directly into the ears of the caps of a creature that you can see. To torment them with words, make a spellcast roll against them. On a success, you must mark a stress and become temporarily vulnerable.
How do you?
They must.
I know. How do you get out of being vulnerable?
Oh, you have to find a way to clear a stress, I think.
Okay.
And anything that says temporary just means that the DM has to spend a fear to get rid of it.
Okay.
So I think I would choose Blighted Strike and Enrapture.
All right, let's do it. I think inspirational words are really cool.
It is, but I don't think that's our build. Our build's like to be a tank, right?
Yeah, true.
That's what we're trying to do.
All right. You don't think that Umbral Veil?
I don't know. But like Enrapture is going to make him target me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think Umbral Veil is great. But Blighted Strike will do damage and make him hit less too.
True. To have a nice damage roll too. With
right. So, Ancestry, which I don't think it really matters because we're going to go over Ancestries at some time. So I'm just going to select Clank. I'm just going to accept one because...
For Heritage?
Yeah, because we plan on doing a video where we go over each one of those. So I don't want to do that at this point.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing with the communities. So I think we're pretty much done making the character.
Of going over what Warlock can do.
Correct. Yeah, we want Warlock, not what just pretty much anything does. Let me just double check, make sure. Yeah, choosing experience is what everything does. Okay, so that was Warlock.
That was Warlock. It just seems like of your 2 subclasses, you have a tanky style Warlock, and you have kind of your DPS type Warlock.
Yeah, I think the tank one sounds
The tank one sounds fun.
This is not something you expect from a Warlock.
From a Warlock, yeah. Can you imagine like creating your patron to do something with I don't know, like war or something like that, and
think about the cool thing you can get that you can come up with when you transform into that terrifying visage.
Yes. Man, can you imagine being like a fun girl Warlock that's a tank? So much fun things you can create.
Yeah, that'd be insane. I think it sounds awesome. Looking forward to checking it out more. If anybody has anything they would like to add, please leave in the comments below.
Yes, we're learning too. So yeah.
If we misunderstood anything or anything like that, please let us know. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
We are starting our Learning Daggerheart campaign called the Skyroot Saga, customly made by our wonderful DM, J Mart here. So make sure you also check that out. That will be coming out on Monday.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace. Thanks for being here, guys.